Good morning. എല്ലാവരും ഒന്ന് സീറ്റിലിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാമായിരുന്നു. Please be seated. Sir, kindly come forward and sit over here, please. Good morning, very good morning to all of you. This is a long-awaited wish for all of us to have a big brand like Tata coming to UL CyberPark, rather to Malabar as a whole. And this is the first time both of us are interacting, UL CCS and Tata directly interacting to the media. And to kickstart the program, I invite Mr. Ravindran Kasturi, Group CEO, ULCCS, to give welcome speech.
Thank you, Shala. Good morning. All ready to start, right? So good to see you all here. Actually, it is very exciting moment for us. Actually, so I think Tata coming here. I think it was a long awaited. I think today morning when we were interacting, we were told that the current MD, right, Manoj, was here 5 years back. That was long. But my experience with Tata is actually we started this interaction only a couple of months back. But after seeing the facility, after coming here and understanding Calicut, I think they could take the decision very fast, and that is a very good inspiration for us actually. And we are really proud to have them here actually. With the Tata like brand, as Sharda was saying, our thinking is actually going to be a milestone for us for the CyberPark as well as for the region, especially in the IT world, right? And they are also starting in one of the unique area of like connected vehicles and a lot of engineering services. I think I don't know whether many people know they are not a typical IT company. They are very different, and I always get excited because being an engineer myself, I always thought that that is something we all wanted to do because it is really the application of engineering services, especially with the technology. And today, without technology, nothing works. So there is no difference. And I think they are one of the, I would say, one of the company which will definitely grow phenomenally compared to any other IT companies. This thing. And they coming here and starting is a very exciting moment for us. And I'm very happy and very thrilled to invite the Tata Group here. Actually, with we have Mr. Nitin Pai, who is the Chief Marketing Officer and Chief Strategy Officer of Tata ELXSI. Welcome you, Mr. Nitin. Thank you. Then we have Rajagopal Ness, who is the global head of HR for Tata ELXSI. Welcome you, sir, and we are looking forward to. And I think this is a very talent-centric place. And I always, the amount of buses goes from here to Bangalore every Friday, right? And Friday, if you want to get a ticket from Bangalore to Calicut, it is almost impossible, right? And because that many people are shuttling between these things. So my thinking, this one from the CyberPark, right from the beginning, we were telling it is not, we can't be like a very different IT space like Bangalore or something like that, because this kind of cities will grow more like satellite cities, right? And it has to be connected with the different cities. And in that context, a company like Tata ELXSI coming here, who has presence in almost everywhere, right? Like Bangalore, Trivandrum, and almost every city you have Tata ELXSI there, right? And that kind of company here coming here makes a huge difference for the center as well as for the people, because people are also not joining Calicut, they are joining Tata ELXSI, and which really helps them to really grow in their career and move around. So there is absolutely no confusion for the people. So that way, attracting talent and getting the people and the growing of Tata ELXSI, they have huge plans for Calicut, which I am sure the Nitin will be explaining you later. So I don't want to get into that actually. So that way, welcome this thing. And for that, as global HR head being here, and definitely he has the responsibility of getting the whole people. And he is also, we have Sri Kumar, who is the center head, for Trivandrum, right? And I think he is one of the person maybe grown TATA ELXSI to almost a similar size as the headquarters, right, in Trivandrum right now, right? And big center there. So all his experience and other things also will help us growing this center as well, I hope, right? So then we have Ishwar, who is the recruitment head. So welcome you, sir. Then we have Emil, who is the senior leader, and because at Tata Group, I think I was told that they have majorly 3 different divisions, right? And this one, he is part of one of the divisions. And one of the unique thing they were telling us today morning is 83% of the revenue comes from 2 different streams, right? And that 2 streams, they are going to start here. So that way, this center is going to influence almost 83% of the revenue of Tata ELXSI. That is going to make huge growth opportunity for all of us here, right? And we have Sharath, who is, what is Sharath? And he is the first employee of Tata ELXSI in Calicut, right? So he joined 3 days back. So, and he is a native of Calicut. So that way he has a lot more to do it. Welcome you as well. So, and we have the chairman and MD here. So I don't want to welcome them because they are the host, right? So automatically this thing. So, and then welcome to all of you here, because we are excited and we are looking forward to this interaction, because there is a major role to play for the ecosystem here, right? And because Calicut, when many people we interact with, they talk about various constraints, but actually we were talking in the morning, all these constraints, I started in Bangalore in 1994. When we started, nothing was there, not even an airport, not the proper airport or anything. And the way it is grown and it reached to the level what we are seeing today, it is purely because of the growth in IT, right, majorly. And that way, when this kind of IT company comes and when we really start getting into that kind of a growth, almost everything else will grow. And we are very confident that Calicut as a city has the potential to grow in that mode. And we are looking forward to all your support and help to make that happen, right? And with that, welcome once again to all of you. And then I'll hand over to Sharma.
Thank you so much, sir. Ini namukka, I'm just switching to Malayalam for a second. എല്ലാവർക്കും സുപരിചിതമാണ് ULCCS. എന്നാലും നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ഷോർട്ട് വീഡിയോ പ്ലേ ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. Then we'll continue with the Tata. We are playing a small video of ULCCS, then we'll continue with the flow. Please.
In the long history of humankind, those who learn to collaborate effectively have prevailed. Nestled along the Malabar coast of Kerala, India, lays Kozhikode, lulled by the sea breeze of the Arabian Sea and protected by the Western Ghats. Acclaimed as a city of spices during classical antiquity and the Middle Ages, Kozhikode or Calicut has a rich history of collaboration. It has always been a major point of association for trade, cultures, religions and languages. The story of yet another iconic collaboration was added to the pages of Kozhikode's diverse history in 1925, when 14 laborers joined under the guidance of a great guru to create the ULCCS. The Uralunga Labour Contract Cooperative Society was a landmark in the Indian cooperative movement. As it stands as a golden example of success through collaboration, the ULCCS, under the leadership of our chairman, Rameshan Paleri, has unveiled yet another institution to be the hub of synergy in the IT industry, the UL CyberPark.
Calicut is emerging as an IT destination pretty fast compared to maybe any other city. We started in India. Normally it takes something like 8 to 10 years or something to get to a reasonable thing. But here, if you really look at it, there are many companies, and some of the companies are 200 plus, 500 plus kind of companies we could get in Calicut in such a short time.
Kozhikode, one of the most prominent cities in South India, is in proximity to two major international airports. It is connected to all major Indian IT hubs and states through rail, road and air. Due to its historical connections with the foreign world, Kozhikode has become home to a diverse and open-minded population. Hospitality, friendliness and love for art, culture and sports are a shared privilege of its people. The UL CyberPark intends to bring people and organizations together to turn Kozhikode into next hub of disruptive technology. The state-of-the-art facility aims to provide employment to over 25.
From the inception, we have been given a wonderful experience from the UL CyberPark, whether it is regarding the filing of necessary documents or bringing up this one. There has been a lot of encouragement from UL CyberPark as well as from the entire team.
Over 72 companies thriving within this special economic zone have access to rich, diverse and cost-effective manpower, molded by some of the most prestigious educational institutions. Cost-effectiveness of manpower combined with good employment retention capacity and high loyalty makes Kozhikode the ideal location for the cutting-edge business hub. When we bring people together, we have made sure to have a state-of-the-art setting. The master plan of the 2.7 million square feet architectural wonder is by one of the world's leading architects, Mrs. Nikensiki, Japan. We adhere to top-notch standards. Most great advances have been a collaboration. We are not just a space provider for your work, but an integrated solution provider, right from HR and admin services to finance and fund management.
One of the best features that keeps the UL CyberPark distinct is the greenery inside. That makes the workstation here very fresh and live. And as far as Kozhikode is concerned, we are a part of a city that gives pride importance for women's safety. And the UL CyberPark also perfectly inclines with that concept.
Let's collaborate to build a high productive community around a cutting-edge workplace. The UL CyberPark that implements a walk-to-work concept is situated within a residential area with high-quality accommodation facilities, shopping malls, hospitals, schools, hotels, and restaurants in proximity. Foundations of the UL CyberPark is laid by the values of the UL CCS that brings people together to build the future. Come, let's collaborate to create history and the future.
Hello? Sorry. That was UL CyberPark for you. Now we'll have TATA ELXSI's corporate video. Now, actually, Mr. Manoj Raghavan, who is MD and CEO of TATA ELXSI, he couldn't make it to this session. So he have sent a video communication to you all. We would like to play it for you.
Namaskaram. TATA ELXSI has been investing in Kerala over the last 20 years in the IT sector. We have a large delivery center in Trivandrum. Almost 30% of our staff operate out of Trivandrum today. I'm happy to announce today that we are setting up a new center in Kozhikode. Kozhikode and North Kerala has a sizable pool of engineering graduates, good engineering institutions, but however, due to limited opportunities, career opportunities for these talented individuals, they work in other parts of India and even abroad. Now, with opening of this center and presence in Kozhikode, we are providing a good, rewarding career and international exposure as well as career growth for talented engineers and leaders who hail from this part of Kerala, who would like to work in this beautiful city. Immediately, we are initiating a global recruitment drive and invite interested engineers and leaders to really join us and help us build a scale presence in this center over the next few years. Thank you.
Now it is officially announced. I would request the guests to come to the dais. I welcome Mr. Nitin Pai, CMO, CSO, TATA ELXSI, Mr. Rajagopalan, Global HR, Ramesh sir, President ULCCS, Kasturi sir, Mr. Ravindran Kasturi, Group CEO ULCCS. We are looking out for an interactive session. Before that, I would like Mr. Nitin to speak out his views and his vision on the new project.
Good afternoon. Namaskaram. It's wonderful to be here in Kozhikode. In some sense, I think our CEO, Manoj, talked a little bit about how we do things. Because when we first went to Trivandrum, it was just our second center. We are headquartered in Bangalore. Unlike most of the other Tata companies who are headquartered in Mumbai, we are headquartered in Bangalore because we operate in the technology space. And Mr. Tata felt a company in the technology space should be originating in Bangalore. And then when we had to grow out of Bangalore, we looked around the world, right? So we looked at Pune, we looked at Hyderabad, we looked at Delhi. But we actually took a call to come to Trivandrum. This was in the year 99-2000. Very unusual decision. Why should your second center after Bangalore be Trivandrum? But we were very convinced that for the kind of work that we do, we are not looking at mass. We are not looking to recruit 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 engineers. We need people who are really engineers. Because we build products and those products get used by people. So the big difference I think that TATA ELXSI creates between what we do and many of the IT companies is it is very difficult for people who are in the IT industry to explain to their parents what they do. They say, I do software. Parents also, computer, software. Right? Because it's very complex to explain what you do. When you work in TATA ELXSI, it's fairly simple. You're either building the features that you're now buying cars for, or you're watching entertainment and video, and what engages you is what we are doing. So whether it's Airtel Extreme or Tata Play, what makes you watch TV? What makes it easy to operate? What are the new features that we're bringing out? This is what we do. If you go to a hospital, and I wish nobody has to go to a hospital, but if you do go to a hospital, you'll find that the latest diagnostic equipment, the latest critical care equipment that is being used has a role from our side. So that is what we believe. That is very easy to explain to anybody what you do and what difference you make. It's easy to explain, but very difficult to do. And that is where Trivandrum was important for us, because we thought with organizations like ISRO, where you can send only one rocket up, you can't send 10 and then assume that, look, a hit ratio of 3-4 is okay. No, you have to be first time right. You need that kind of discipline in what we do. And that is where we said we will take a chance. We'll go to Trivandrum, started a center. The first 10 engineers, including the leader, was from ISRO. And look at where we are today. Trivandrum is the same size as Bangalore for us, and it's growing faster. Another very important fact. Unlike most of the other industries, we have a unique aspect of 35% of our staff being women. Now, many other IT companies also tell you they're 35, 36%, but remember, we don't do BPO, we don't do KPO, we don't do financial services. A lot of women tend to take up those kind of educational directions, and therefore it is easy to build a large amount of pool where your diversity is coming from women working in these areas, customer support, BPO, KPO, and so on. For us, we are only engineering. Unless these women have pursued engineering, we do not have an opportunity to recruit them. I'm very happy to say that we are not only 35% across TATA ELXSI. By the way, it is better than Microsoft or Google or Apple, that percentage. But our Trivandrum center is 40% women, higher than the rest of the company. So now when I step back and we looked at Calicut, for us also it is a similar bold decision. Because you can't keep checking for proof of, will we find the engineers? Will it work for us? Will we be able to attract talent? Will we find the right kind of people? Will we be able to scale? Sometimes you just have to take a chance. And I think it is with that faith and that confidence that we said we will come here, and when we commit to something as a Tata company and as Tata ELXSI, we have to make it work. Because excellence is our hallmark. We are very confident now. And where does the confidence come from? I think it comes from two parts. One, this has been an extraordinarily fast decision for us. Like Ravindran said, in less than 2 months we have made a call from initially thinking about it to committing ourselves and getting launched. The extraordinary facilitation done by the ULCC team, whether it's Ravindran or Rameshan, I think that support has given us confidence. But two, as you're aware, we also announced a global recruitment drive. And as we sit here today, I get even more confidence. Why? Because the kind of response that you've seen is fantastic. Fantastic. And about 90% of all the profiles that we've got 2,000 plus people applying to join us. And that's just in about less than 4 or 5 days, right?
3 days actually.
Exactly 3 days since we launched the campaign. And 90% of this is interest from people who are not in Calicut at all. 10% is from Calicut. 90% are people who are working across the world, who are interested in saying, look, if you can give me a career that works, if you can give me growth opportunities, if you can give me work that is challenging, we are very happy to come back to Calicut and work from here. And believe me, these are not just profiles from Bangalore or Chennai or Delhi or so on. We've got resumes from US, from Germany, of course from Middle East and Dubai. Right? So we are quite delighted. And I think we believe that the decision we have taken is right. We believe that we can make this successful. We can scale this. And we look forward to a very successful journey further. Thank you.
I think Nitin summarized it quite a bit. It's not a very challenging effort being in a HR seat, getting talent in Calicut. So this is my belief, and it's been seconded by how we got in the applications in 3 days. And I'm very happy to say that my work is easier in Calicut as looking at in Bangalore or anywhere else. So I see it as a big success. This is going to be a torch bearing for us to move forward, just not in Calicut, look at different centers in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, and we will replicate this model elsewhere. So that's where it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir.
എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. വളരെയധികം സന്തോഷത്തിലാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ ELCSും സൈബർ പാർക്കും മലബാറുകാരും. കാരണം 2008 ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സ്വപ്നത്തിന് വേണ്ടി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഉദ്യമത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ഇറങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ ഒരുപാട് പ്രയാസങ്ങളും പ്രശ്നങ്ങളും വെല്ലുവിളികളും നേരിട്ടു. പക്ഷേ ഇന്നിപ്പം നമ്മുടെ ടാറ്റ എലക്സി വന്നതോടുകൂടി കോഴിക്കോടിൻ്റെ അല്ലെ സൈബർ പാർക്കിൻ്റെ ഒരു വലിയ മാറ്റം തന്നെ വരാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. അപ്പം നമ്മുടെ പുതിയ തലമുറക്കും അല്ലെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് മലബാറിൽ ഉള്ള പുതിയ ഉദ്യോഗാർത്ഥികൾക്കും ജോലി കിട്ടുക അല്ലെ തൊഴിൽ കൊടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഒരാളിൻ്റെ ഉദ്യമം. അതിനുവേണ്ടിയാണല്ലോ ഒരാളെങ്കിൽ. അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ നിന്ന് വ്യത്യസ്തമായി വിദ്യാസമ്പന്നരായിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്ക് തൊഴിൽ കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള ഒരവസരം ഇവിടെ ടാറ്റ എലക്സി അതിൻ്റെ ബ്രാൻഡ് നെയിം വന്നതോടുകൂടി നമ്മുടെ ഡെസ്റ്റിനേഷൻ മാറി. കാലിക്കറ്റ് തന്നെ ഒരു IT ഡെസ്റ്റിനേഷനായി മാറിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിൻ്റെ ഗ്രോത്ത് നമ്മൾ സിറ്റിക്കും മലബാറിനും ഒക്കെ നമ്മൾ പുതിയ തലമുറക്കും ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോൾ ടാറ്റ എലക്സിക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. അവർക്ക് എല്ലാ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളും ഞങ്ങൾ പരിഹരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുന്നു, 100% ഉറപ്പ് നൽകുന്നതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ടാറ്റ എലക്സി ഇനിയും കോഴിക്കോട് കൂടുതൽ സംരംഭങ്ങൾ തുടങ്ങട്ടെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
So we are super excited as you are. The whole Malabar is looking forward to have you in Kozhikode and expand further also. So the platform is open to media. ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം. It's an open and interactive session. I'll pass on the mic.
Yes, please.
We are sure that you will make difference in Malabar. We need, what is your target at Malabar in the sense of the volume of business and the job opportunity?
Sure. There are two parts here, right? One is, like I said, because of the fact that what we do is specialized. We are not setting up a back office here. We are not doing a shared support office, doing offloading our finance department behind or our payroll behind and so on. Whatever we do, we will do the same core engineering that we do in Bangalore or Trivandrum or any of our other centers here. Which means that the talent that we find has to be right. It is not about seniority of talent. It is about the passion that you bring and the fact that you remember all the engineering that you learned in college. Right? And you have to apply it. So in that sense, we are hoping that we will get to about 1,000 people in 2 years. If you look at the other way to look at it is the space that we have taken or we are working with ULCC for is about 500 seats. The way we see it is that 500 seats is good enough to house about 1,000 engineers easily, simply because of the hybrid model right now. Right now, even in Bangalore or elsewhere, less than 20% of our staff is right now working from office. Even if you assume that of course, it will move up over time, 50-50, so 1,000 people straight away, even in our phase 1, we can imagine happening in the next 2 years. So that is the kind of plan and hope that we have, that we'll be able to get to that number. Thank you.
വേറെ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാം?
Sir, you told 30%, 35% of your employees are women. Is your motto, it is unknowingly happening so, or is a motto? What is it?
The only thing that we focus on is capability and performance. So I think what it is telling us is that you have very capable engineers, whether they're women or men. Because we are very, very clear that we don't have a quota system. We are not trying to increase the diversity of the company because that is just a label. There is no meaning when you do something just because you're trying to do it for the purpose of a statistic. Because the same people you'll have to get delivery out of also. So for us, I think it is not about unknowing. It is about going after where you can find passion and talent. And it is great to see that there is that percentage of women who are not only talented but are interested in joining us to work. Because the work we do is tough. I can tell you that much. Right? It's not an easy 9 to 5 job. So we are glad to see that commitment.
It's an equal opportunity, but they take the same ownership. Be it a mother, be it a wife, it's the same, and they deliver the same way. So if they have to work for 10 hours, 12 hours, they've been doing it. So, and it gives them pleasure. And it's word of mouth that they have been referring a lot of people also, right? So that also helps us.
Yes.
How can you getting any labor or a campus interview any platform?
Yes. Okay, so let me put it this way. It's not just about Calicut. For TATA ELXSI, we have fairly large plans in terms of how we want to look at freshers for the year, and we will recruit them from campuses all across the country. In general, I don't think we have done too much with campuses in the Malabar region. This year, it gives us both opportunity and a priority to also make sure that we cover some of the leading colleges here. Now, of course, NIT, Calicut, etc. is well known, but we would definitely like to look at a few colleges beyond that and make sure that we get some fresh engineers on board from this part of the region too.
Sir, most of the engineers are moving one firm to another. What do you feel?
Sorry, if you can come back again, please.
Most of the engineers jumping to another firm, one firm to another day by day. What do you feel?
We feel bad, of course. No, I think there are 2-3 parts here, right? I think to simplify it to say that everybody is jumping jobs and everybody is in a state of movement, I think maybe oversimplifying the equation. I think you have seen extraordinary demand on digital skills and technology that is coming from all industries at the same time. Normally what happens, you have industry cycles. So sometimes automotive is high, demand comes up there. There is some technology transition happening there. So that is why there is temporary demand. When I say temporary, it lasts 3-4 years. But other industries are going flat. Suddenly there will be a technology trend in telecom, 4G, 5G. That is why hiring will go up there. Typically, industry tends to have cycles and technology transformation points. And that is when you have a spike of demand and then it cools down. I think for the first time in history, I think we are seeing a trend where there are transitions and technology transformations happening in almost every industry, all at the same time, and a lot of the skills being common. That is leading to the fact that everybody wants people now. Okay? Having said that, I think we are lucky that we have seen attrition lower than most of our peers. Remember, we are not comparing to IT and so on. You can actually compare with anybody. We have seen our attrition being lower than most other companies. In fact, without exception, our competition for sure. Simply because I think we bring fantastic opportunities, the kind of work that we do, the quality of work, apart from being a Tata company, I think is what keeps people. More importantly, our Trivandrum center's attrition is far lower than our Bangalore center. Exactly. Because always what you look at is an average. Just like I said, women, 35%, but 40% women in Trivandrum. Similarly, we see attrition is far lower in Trivandrum. So we are hoping that centers like Calicut will also help us in that, not just attracting people, but creating a connection which says, look, there are more reasons to stay here and continue here than just a little more money. Yes, please.
The saddest thing is that you need only engineers. Why don't you appoint some journalists or content writers? You should also get opportunity, right? Some openings in the content writing sector or something. Just asking out of curiosity.
No, absolutely. In fact, if you do go to our website, you will find that there are openings for content writers. But that is actually for the marketing team, please note. Because we don't offer that as a service. It is more for us to use to communicate better.
You asked the question to the right source. He hates the marketing.
What prompted you to come Calicut?
Yeah, I think as we look at our Trivandrum experience, that you started in a place where there was no proof before. There was not much proof to say there's a large pool of engineering talent. Even if there are many colleges, those engineers will stay in Trivandrum only. They will not want to go somewhere else. We had no proof. We had to take a chance, and we took that chance. What it has shown us is there are very good colleges in Trivandrum. There is very good engineering talent sorry, I'm talking of Kerala. Very good engineering colleges in Kerala. There is very good engineering capability in Kerala. And if you start a center in Trivandrum, you'll find that people come there and they stay there. Attrition levels are lower. But when COVID happened, many people went back to their homes. See, for us, it is Trivandrum Center. Whoever is attached to Trivandrum Center is, for us, Trivandrum Center. But when COVID happened, and then we started tracing down pin codes of where are people actually going home to, we found that quite a few of our people are actually from the North Kerala, Malabar region. So if we actually do an IT check on where is the actual pin codes where they're staying right now, you'll find that X percentage is actually from Calicut and Malabar. That is when it triggered. I think if this many people in our own teams are from this region, I'm very sure that the pool is much larger outside. And then on that basis, we did two things. We did a little more research, and we also checked with our people saying, if we start a center in Calicut, how do you see that happening? Would you find friends to refer? What do you think of that idea? And then, of course, we also explored with ULCC in terms of where should we come? Because remember, if we come, we need a world-class facility. You can't start something without a world-class infrastructure and facility. We needed both to happen. So really the answer for you is, with COVID and work from home, we could actually find out where people's original home places are.
Correct.
Yes, please.
Having said that, COVID.
Right. No, I think the first answer is, we were looking for a world-class facility and infrastructure. There is no compromise on that, right? You don't decide on A because this is also there, that is also there, but this is no. First and most important, the infrastructure has to be world-class, facilities have to be world-class. That is satisfied. Beyond that, then you start looking at the chemistry, which is how do the values and the value systems match. I think in that sense, you don't have to, it's not whether you're cooperative or government or private and so on. What is the value system you operate under? You operate on behalf of the community, and the intent is you have to return to community many times over what you got from them. That is our founder's principle. And I think that is very much shared by the vision of UL. The way I see it, we have seen their presentations. We have been gifted a book kindly by the team here. I think the value systems match. I think first is physics and maths. Price has to be right, place has to be right. But then finally the answer will come from chemistry. How is the chemistry working for the two of us?
So, having said that, COVID is the one reason, post-COVID situation is the one reason for you to find out a market in Calicut. You have said that 90% of the applicants during the last 3 days, most of them were from abroad.
Correct.
Basically from Europe, US and out of India. So my question is, I don't know, most of them might be now working there, but their native place is from Malabar.
Correct.
Right, sir?
That's correct.
So now you are trying to come back or arrange them to place, to work from their own hometown. So that created a necessity for you to come to Malabar?
No. So let me just clarify. While 10% of the applications, 10-15% are engineers and people who are operating in Calicut today but also want to explore a job with TATA ELXSI. The remaining is from engineers who want to come to Calicut. Now, I'm assuming out of that set, majority are people who have hometown in Calicut or in the Malabar region, and they find that this is convenient. Please note that not all of them are from abroad. The people from abroad is a small percentage. But it's just interesting for us that there are people interested even from Germany and US to come back here. So to your point, yes, in some sense, we hope this is a bit of a reverse brain drain, right? You always have had engineers going out of India to other regions. Equally, you have had a brain drain of engineers in Kerala going out to other cities and other towns and other states to find the right jobs. Hopefully, this is a bit of a reverse brain drain.
It's a cost-effective situation for you.
See, the driver for us is not cost. The driver for us is where can we find the right talent, and where can we find the talent that stays with us, that continues with us, that builds on his experience. So the ability to attract and the ability to motivate and retain, that is the only purpose. We are not looking at it from a cost equation at all. Yes, in that sense, okay, I'm going to let Raj answer that. It's a better answer from him.
My guess is we don't do a differentiation because somebody is sitting in Trivandrum or Calicut as compared to Bangalore or Pune. So that is, see, we value people based on what they bring onto the table. So we keep it very simple.
So I just want to shift the focus from you to Mr. Rameshan. Sir? Okay, so Kozhikode, UL CyberPark അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഗവൺമെൻറ് സൈബർ പാർക്ക് വന്നപ്പം വാട്ട് യു ഓഫേർഡ് ഇസ് ഇവിടെ വലിയ MNCs വരും അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയായിരുന്നു നമ്മൾ വിചാരിച്ചത്. പക്ഷേ ഐ തിങ്ക് ഇറ്റ് ടുക്ക് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ടൈം ഫോർ അസ് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഒരു ബെറ്റർ പ്രോസ്പെക്റ്റുള്ള കമ്പനീസ് വരാൻ. സോ ഇതൊരു തുടക്കമാണോ അതോ ഇനിയും കൂടുതൽ ഇതേപോലത്തെ ഒരു കോർപ്പറേറ്റ് ലെവൽ കമ്പനീസ് നമുക്ക് കോഴിക്കോട് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
ഐ.ടിക്കാർ തന്നെയാണ് പറയേണ്ടത്, പക്ഷേ എന്തായാലും ഇതൊരു തുടക്കം തന്നെയാണ്.
എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇത്ര സമയം എടുത്തതെന്നാണ് എനിക്ക് അറിയേണ്ടത്.
സമയം ടെക്നോ പാർക്കിലെല്ലാം 10 വർഷം എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇത് നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ 6-7 വർഷമായിട്ടേ ഉള്ളൂ. എന്നിട്ടും നമ്മൾ ഇത്രയും എത്തിയല്ലോ. അതും മലബാർ ഒരു ഡെസ്റ്റിനേഷനേ അല്ലാത്തൊരു സിറ്റിയാണല്ലോ. അപ്പം അതിന് ഇത്രയും പ്രാധാന്യവും അത് നമ്മളിപ്പം രക്ഷിച്ചത് കോവിഡാണല്ലോ. കോവിഡ് പോസിറ്റീവാണെന്നുള്ള നെഗറ്റീവ് മാത്രമല്ല പോസിറ്റീവാണെന്നുള്ള. അപ്പോൾ ഇനി ഒരു ഡെസ്റ്റിനേഷനായി മാറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇനി അതിൻ്റെ ഗ്രോത്ത് നമുക്ക് ആർക്കും പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നതിലപ്പുറത്തേക്ക് എത്തിക്കൊള്ളും തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും.
എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ any more questions? Okay, thank you so much. I'll invite Mr. Kishore to give the word of thanks.
Thank you.
Respected officials from TATA ELXSI, ULCCS and press people. And this is a wonderful day for us, a delightful day for Kozhikode and UL CyberPark. Actually, so we started this park in 2016, February 27th, and this is dedicated to the nation by the Honorable President of India, Pranab Kumar Mukherjee. So at that time, actually we were searching for good companies to Calicut because this is a new destination. So because Technopark is there and because Technopark is very close to the decision makers and they are getting all benefit, and there is Infopark that is also in the industrial city, and Calicut, we are proud this is a city of traders, and Vasco da Gama, the first foreigner, landed here in Calicut. There is a proud, we are also proud for our city. And there was no big industries or medium industries in Calicut, this region. And we are road workers, and we tried to establish a new industry here in service industry, IT Park. And we tried our level best to bring good companies here, and finally we achieved one of the premier industry came to Calicut, and that is TATA ELXSI. And they announced they are going to operate in the automotive and telecom sector. That is one of the emerging areas in this time. And today, now I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Nitin Pai and Mr. Rajagopal for bringing TATA ELXSI here, and their announcement, actually that is a boon for Calicut city. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the people who are sitting in front of me, the press people. Actually, they always support us in every areas because we are into various, we are basically into the construction sector, and now we are in the IT park. So thank you for coming here and hearing us, and thank you all. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our chairman, our MD, our CEO, and our colleagues. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And I once again thank you for the press people. And now we are going for our lunch arranged here only. So please have lunch, and thank you for coming here. Thank you. So I would like to thank two more people or the team ELXI, and Srikumar sir is here, and Mr. Manoj is here, Sharath is here. Thank you. Sorry for missing that names. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. So we'll proceed for lunch now. Thank you all for coming, and hope we had a good time here. Looking forward for sir. We'll
Cheers.
If anyone would like to have individual bites, please inform us, and we can arrange it separately. Record ചെയ്യാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ